So Greg McDaniel, there's Adam Gould, Greg McDaniel.
G'day, Adam.
Make sure you guys connect on Facebook because Adam is one of the all-time Australian greats, Greg. So you guys definitely should do a Real Estate Uncensored podcast because you guys think the same. You know, you guys definitely think the same. So I said to Naomi, we were running a bit behind, but I thought, no, put Adam on with me and Greg because we're talking about the same stuff. It's about being you and all of that. So this certainly will make for a great three-way conversation. In fact, two-way. I should just shut up because you guys have got this. You guys have got this. But
Adam, I'd love to connect with you, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, more than happy. More than happy to do that.
If you're friends with my dear good friend over here, Glenn, then you're a friend of mine already. It's kind of like just baked into the pie. So I'm good.
No, so Adam is just one of the best at being authentically himself and having a community love him for it and reward him with massive real estate success as based on that. So I don't know how much of this conversation you caught, Adam, but
yeah, no, I've been watching the whole lot.
Right, oh, mate. So what were some of your comments then on some of that? What Greg was just saying around that subject of authenticity and how you've baked that into the Gould Times cake, so to speak.
Absolutely, the Gould Times, as we follow that. Yeah, look, you've got to be authentic, and it's something that, as you know, GT, I talk about a lot, and authenticity is so important. I think the game's changed, and people expect different things, but certainly being authentic is the only way we certainly run our business here, and I won't have it any other way. It's and the things we've gained out of doing that from years ago, even well before real estate, it's amazing. Amazing little things that, it's not just what you do today, it's what you've done years ago, and never too late to make a change. Turning out there, just got to,
One of the things, Greg, go ahead. Greg, sorry.
I was going to say, what was that? Adam, I'm fascinated to answer the question because I love that when people ask me this question is like, what was that defining moment when you're like, you know what? To heck with all the rest of you guys. I'm just going to be who I am. I'm going to be authentic to me. I'm going to be authentic to my family, my friends. You know, I'm just going to own the meat suit that I'm wearing. You know, I'm just going to be me. What was there a defining moment for you, or was it a progression?
I got to say, I think I've always probably been a little bit that way. I think it's not something that I really changed. It was more when I became aware of that's what I was doing and how I've lived my life, that people, I'm like, oh, what am I different? And, you know, look, again, coming up 5 years in the industry this year in June, and when I started, I guess a lot of people would come to me and wonder what tricks we're doing, and you know, you're on these websites, so you're paying money to get these leads and that sort of thing. And I was like, no, I don't really have an answer for it. And I think it's being genuine. It's not something you can fake. It's not something you can try and be. It's not something you can wake up tomorrow and do it. And hey, let's face it, not everyone can do it. But it's you know, it's having a strong lead and working in with other people in our industry as well. We've got some great people, and I think it's just throwing yourself in there. So yeah, that's more the way for me. It was only identifying that's what I'd done.
I actually did have someone say to me once, guys, and I know this is a weird question that'll freak you guys out because you guys are the opposite of this, but someone literally asked me, Glenn, what can I do and how can I talk? And is there some way that I can convince people that I'm real, that I'm authentic? And I'm like, wow, we've got bigger problems. If you think, no, you got to be it. You can't fake it. You got to be it. It's part of the mix. But Adam, for Greg's benefit and for anyone who's watching, because they got mad at me before because I didn't do an adequate intro on James Tosterman. So if you could give us the Adam story, sort of the Cliff Notes version of, you know, because you mentioned only coming up on your 5th year in real estate, yet you've been #1 in, you know, the biggest brand in the world as part of that journey in Remax. You were #1 in the country in various times. So what's the Adam Cliff Notes that brought you, maybe even starting Gould Times? I love it. The liquid Gould with the branded water. So starting as even a teenager, you had an entrepreneurial spirit there, but just give us the short version of that. A, for Greg, but B, for anyone who's on who doesn't know of Adam Gould.
Yeah, the Adam Gould story was when I was 12, push bike and trailer, grade 7, at a private school here locally, Redlands College. I wanted to be a business owner, and so I set out on my way and wanted to become a business. And that business I built from grade 7 up to when I was 19. When I left school, that was the business that I had, and it was crazy times. Mortgaged my mum's house when I was 17, convinced her that was a good idea, and we expanded the business. And I sold that business when I was 19. And good story. I saw the van driving to the office before. Actually, it's still that business. I've sold it, but it's 2 owners since and still operates today. With the same logo, GT, that I designed in the middle of class. Probably shouldn't have been doing that, but and that's how that led me to real estate, because I used to detail real estate agents' cars, and I learnt that business people are busy. And I think that whole genuine thing, Greg, the authenticity, it came from that, because I realised very, very early from those young days that it didn't matter how busy the guy was at the post office, he still didn't have time to wash his car. It didn't matter how much meat the butcher sold, he still needed to. So we make it very, very easy. Well, at least we set out to do that in our business here. And that's why, I sort of went on. And then, did some other things after that. And I was in the motorcycle industry, and which I enjoyed, and sort of worked my way up there. And then, but the real estate, I love it. I feel like I've been doing it all my life. I don't really think of the other stuff. It's been a quick 5 years, and I've had some great people around, GT included. Like, we've had some good people, and I've listened to a lot of people. I've done the opposite to what a lot of people have told me sometimes as well. When I used to tell my team, I used to say, just what they do, we'll do it opposite and see how we go. And it's worked. So, we just have a good time. I love it.
Well, certainly one of the principles I live by is, if you're doing the exact same as industry norms, then you're going to get what the industry norms get. And industry norms in most industries, certainly in ours, the norm is horrible results. The averages are appalling. So someone once said, I think it was Earl Nightingale back in the day, a ye olde worldy speaker, said, in the absence of a valid model for success, that's the beauty about today, it's filled with valid models for success, like you and like Matt Steinway, who's up next, and all of these legends. But in the absence of a valid model for success, take what the majority do and do the opposite, and you'll be on the right track. And I'm like, wow, a pretty sage counsel, because the average is always wrong. It's always flawed. So certainly doing the opposite of what you're told, if you're being told by someone who is in that mediocre majority, then you've got to do the opposite. Otherwise, you're one of them, So, yeah, cool. So, Greg, let's go back to yourself, because you see a whole lot of agents of varying quality, meaning some of the best come to you for advice and listen to your podcast and things, and beginners come to you. What are some of how does that work about not doing what industry norms do? Because we're in an industry where the norm is you go to an office, you maybe prospect, you maybe don't. Some of those industry norms we see, it's almost like you've spent your life bucking that trend. What's your take on challenging or maybe even defying industry norms?
For me, it's something that I've always encouraged people to do, because my father's been in the real estate, guys. If you guys don't know me at all, I always come up with funny names for myself. I call myself the junior grandmaster, and I call my dad the grandmaster, because he's been doing it for 48 years, like nearly half a century. He's been in real estate.
And by the way, one of Bob Wolf, for you guys who know and like Bob Wolf down here, he's a bit of a rock star down in Australia. Greg's dad is one of Bob Wolf's best mates.
Oh yeah. Bob, I remember him coming up. I met him for the first time when he was at my parents' house, and I'm like, who is this guy on crack? And this guy was like wired. And my dad's like, this is him relaxed. I'm like, holy cow, that's him relaxed? What the heck happened? But yeah, no, I've always my dad's been a renegade, throughout, his career, and I've always kind of followed in his footsteps. And so I've always encouraged people to follow their crazy. And I don't care if you're new in the business, getting into the business, if you're actually crushing it like Adam, just going bonkers. But I want you guys to own your own version of nuts, and be okay with that, and just go with it. We had signs. We came up with some crazy signs we used to put around. We had 2 moving trucks that we had driving around town all over the place, that people thought we were nuts for. Our heads were like this big. We had to put special stuff on our teeth so people couldn't black out our teeth. It was hilarious.
I promise I'm not setting this up, Adam. I promise this is not. Adam's sitting there grinning, because Adam, what have you got?
We got bus stops. We've got everything. We got an ice cream trailer with coffee for open homes. We've got slushies. We love it.
All with Adam's face, Gould Times, Adam's face, all over it. Yeah.
And Greg, I've got to say, I go the opposite. I like to have those teeth coloured in. It's great for social media.
Dude, it was phenomenal because we would come out and we'd go look, we'd have black teeth or whatever else, and we had one guy call us, and this is the best phone call we've ever gotten. He's like, "Hey, are you guys in the McDaniel Callahan team?" Yeah, that's us. "Hey, would you guys move your truck? Because I'm tired of you guys looking over my fence all weekend." And it was just our heads just poking over our faces or right over because someone backed up our one of our moving trucks to a yard. And it's just amazing the brand you get from this stuff. And it's a nonstop. I even bought a Zion. You know what a Zion XB is? Do you guys have those in Australia?
No.
They're like these little, well, they used to be boxier, like these little boxy, like seriously like a box looking little car, right? And I call it my clown car because I'm 6'5" and I would put all my friends in there and we would easily fit. But when I drive this thing around, I had my face and I had it wrapped. And people for years after I got rid of it would say, "Oh, I just saw your Zion driving around the other day." I'm like, "That's funny because I got rid of it 2 years ago." But I mean, it's the same thing, Glenn and Adam, that you're doing with your coffee and all the rest of the stuff that you got going on with Gould Time. And that's the point, man. Be nuts, be crazy. If you think that you want to try some sort of marketing, go do it. There's no, I mean, minus hurting someone or doing something like that, obviously stay within the parameters of being ethical and normal. But I mean, if you want to go get an ice cream truck, do it. If you want to get a moving truck, do it. If you want to, like, one of these things, this isn't the one I did, but I came up with this idea for coasters for a bar. We delivered 50,000 plus coasters to a bar and got multiple deals from them. I got brand recognition coming out of our ears. We got a guy who called us up and goes, "Hey, come list our house." And we're like, "Okay, well, great. How'd you hear about us?" "I've been putting my beer on your face for 6 months." It's that kind of crazy, man. Be authentic, be different, find the gap, plug the gap, help people in your community. I don't know if
Adam,
that helped at all.
What's some of your highlights in that space, Adam? Because you like that Gould Times brand. Because I'm a tragic Jimmy Walker Good Times, the old TV show from back in the day with the "Ain't we lucky we got 'em good times" and stuff. So we grabbed the font of that and we sort of started something crazy. What are some of your favorite out of the box marketing or branding collateral that maybe has impacted most on your community, Adam? Because you're a household name in your area. What do you reckon some of the highlight reels of that is?
Oh, look, the whole Gould Time thing too, it probably has a bit of, it can take a very serious marketing campaign and put a little bit of a soft touch to it. I think that's probably the biggest thing. It has become a bit of a trademark. It has become a bit of a house. A lot of social media when you follow people writing, the Gould and then something at the end of it. Even my daughter's the Gould girls. Like we just, that's awesome. It puts a bit of a soft touch, I think, too, and that's us. I mean, at the end of the day, the other day I went and we got a ute for doing the signs and the corner markers and everything, and towing the coffee trailer, and went down to get the stickers put on it, and big Gould Times on the bonnet. It was just mixing it up. So I think it puts a nice clear message on what we do and how we operate. But the Gould Times, overall it makes a bit of fun out of an industry that some people look at as a little bit serious.
And Adam, what order would you put in all of the things you've done? And I don't know if you'd rattle some off, but you've already shown today, you've got branded water with the liquid Gould that goes to your open homes, a branded removal truck, a branded ice cream coffee van. There's all those things to do. What sort of order would you give? Because again, there's tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars if you were going to buy coffee vans and some of those things. Yeah. What would be your advice for the agent who is in the middle of this situation? Cash might not be everywhere. Yes. What's the order of some of the executions that you might suggest?
I was there 4.5 years ago, and the thing I'd say this is where everyone gets it wrong. A lot of people, and I get a lot of agents, wanting to come to me and talk to me about coming to working for our office, and then I can do a lot of things, and if you've got passion and drive and you're authentic, that's the big thing. But here's the thing: you don't need a whole lot of money to do this stuff. Of course, it's great to have some fun, and we've probably gone to another level. But when I started, very, very simple. Me personally did a lot of letterbox dropping and a lot of door knocking and a lot of social media. you know, I didn't even boost back in the day. So it was free. But what I would do is I was very, very consistent with that. And one of the things I particularly promoted, of course, we promoted our own brand and promoted myself and everything like that, but it also promote the houses, the properties that we were selling. Because at the end of the day, we can't get wrapped up in just promoting ourselves. I think this is the problem people get. You know, you'll notice any of our stuff, although we have a great time, we've got bus stops and moving trailers and everything like that. But, you know, we do a thumbs up Friday competition every Friday, have done for 2.5 years, but we're very conservative. But, you know, all that stuff leads people to our website, leads people to our page to help sell the properties. I mean, we can't forget about that. So if you're out there starting from the beginning, to answer your question, very simply, be consistent. I don't care if you I don't care if you meet with 10 people, meet them well, meet them properly, be authentic. Not just, hey, mate, catch up for a coffee, get cool, met 100 people. You know, as an owner and as a principal, that doesn't please me. And you're not going to get a listing straight away. When you first start, it's very hard. All of a sudden, your friend, it's funny, I always laugh at this. When I first started, oh, look, Adam, just let you know, we've used, you know, such and such agent. He sold our last 15 houses, and then, you know,
stab in the heart.
Yeah, but then now years later, obviously, Adam, you know, you're the guiding people, especially through this. I mean, wow, I just need $1.75 for every call that I've had for, you know, guidance and that sort of thing. I say that jokingly, but yeah, if you're starting off today, GT, you know, I've said it heaps of times, and I love helping new people. That's probably my special. I love seeing people start. And very big thing, don't forget where you came from. Be consistent, break it down, keep it very simple. And during these funny times, that's all we're doing. You know, we're very simple, nice quality, good conversations, remembering people's names, remembering what home they're looking for. There's people out there still need to buy. You know, there's people out there, give good service. Yeah, that's what I do. Simple.
You know, Adam, something that kind of popped in my brain when you were talking about being authentic and everything else. I have a good friend. His name is Gene Volpe. He's a marketer. He's one of my co-hosts on my podcast on Fridays, and he's doing this whole thing with the whole COVID. And he's doing a thing called, you know, #challenge to lead, and he gets on. And he drinks a glass of wine or a beer, and he's on for about 5 to 7 minutes on live Facebook. He's just talking. His girls are on, his 2 daughters, his wife pops on every once in a while. He humanizes himself to a level that nobody can hate, because it's just like, oh my God, this is, you know, it's this crazy guy, Gene, and he's drinking a crazy beer, and these daughters are trying to figure out what he does for a living. And it's actually hilarious, but he's owning who he is, and he's bringing light to himself, and people are flocking to that right now. You know, in Australia, you know, Adam, would you recommend doing something along those lines? You know, humanizing yourself, going live on Facebook, Instagram. I mean, I think TikTok even has live video, which I saw today, which I don't have the live ability for TikTok, and I'm very upset about that. But
you want to hanging out with the 16-year-old girls, do you, Gregory?
Hey, don't judge me, dang it. But in all honesty, I have a good friend, Alyssa. She's a mortgage broker. She's getting tens of millions of views on TikTok, and from just bringing value to them. But I guess, Adam, the question to you would be, you know, have you been doing some live stuff like that, and, you know, just owning who you are and just humanizing yourself, given the fact that, like, all of us kind of shut in around the world right now? Is that something that you'd recommend?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have done some quite controlled things. We made the change probably about 1.5 years ago that we were doing. We found we got better results out of doing just plain simple live short posts. We found that the really conservative videos that we were getting made up and that sort of thing, they just didn't work as much. Obviously, we can't do open homes at the moment. We're doing private inspections, so we were certainly doing more lives when we were doing that. But yeah, lives, we're doing lives, absolutely. And we've just done a series here now that I went out and did mowed a lawn for someone that, you know, in the front line. And this week and tomorrow, I'm washing a car for someone in the front line. So we do lives for that sort of thing, some community stuff. Again, because we want to, not because we want to be seen by the world. I just think it's important. There's a lot of people working really hard now. So yeah, that'll be on live. And yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of Adam's lives. One of the things, Adam, that I've seen him do, and he mentioned it briefly before, that I'll get your take on, Greg, and if there's anything you would add to it or in the same vein, is he mentioned his Thumbs Up Fridays, and he's really patented that and made that a thing. And again, Adam, I remember when we talked about that, we copied off, and here's another beautiful principle. Look at what other people are doing in other areas of the country, because young Steph down in Newcastle was a rookie. Like, she was a rookie and she started doing it, and Adam then took it to a whole new level, doubled the frequency, and every Friday Adam will get on, do a short live and give away like a business's, like either Adam will buy a carton of booze and that'll be a giveaway, or there'll be just some sort of business plug or giveaway or something every single Friday with the thumbs up thing. That's again become another trademark. Greg, what have you seen along the lines of working in with other businesses so that there's something to talk about other than more, well, here's what's happening in real estate, when so many people don't care what's happening in real estate if they're not in real estate mode?
Right. And so I by the way, Adam, when I was looking down, I wasn't distracted. I was writing down thumbs up, Fridays, because I think that's such a powerful thing right now. Go to the dressmaker, the candlestick maker, the cake maker, the businesses that are quote unquote not essential, as I vanish into my background. And highlight them and bring value and purchase some of their products. One of the things that I've been kicking around, and I just came up with this concept the other day, was go talk to all these different businesses that can work together, right? And you doing wedding stuff. I don't know why, I just popped in my brain. I'm not getting married. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, you go talk to the dressmaker, the candle maker, the cake maker. These all people work together, right? So think of anything else. Get them on a Zoom call, put them out live onto your social media platform, expose them to your database, and then they do database sharing. So you push them out, and then they do invites to their people and then to everyone else. So you get a much larger collaboration, so that when you're out there and you're showing people, hey, look, this is Bob, Sue, Phil, Stephanie, Rebecca, whatever else, who are doing these different businesses in the neighborhoods. This is how they all can work together. Yes, they're all still open. Yes, we can all still support each other. The major conglomerates around the globe are trying to, kind of browbeat us into just buying their products and their brands, when in reality, what we all want to do is we want to support our local businesses. Like, there's a local restaurant that I'm dying to go have some chicken wings and a beer at, right? Go sit and listen to their loud music, which I hated before, but now I'm like, I so miss this place. But I mean, be able to highlight that and doing stuff that's going to put smiles and it's going to be genuinely authentic and it's going to be resonating with the local population in whatever region that you live in. They go, oh my gosh, like, it's a place called Sauce. It's a barbecue place. Like, oh my gosh, Sauce. I totally miss Sauce. Let's go there. Let's go throw, because you can go throw axes in this place. I can't, how that can go wrong. Let's take a couple of shots and go throw axes. Okay, that's a good idea. But they have it. And I know, I see both of you guys dying laughing.
I'm just picturing an Adam Gould patented video on there saying, "G'day, folks. Time to throw some axes."
Thumbs Up Friday winner.
Oh my God! Please
thumbs
send it to
off
me if you
Friday.
Yeah, thumbs off. But I mean, it's that stuff. It's highlighting local businesses and being able to be the man or the woman of your neighborhood. There's a guy. And this is something that when it comes to creating content, if you guys go to YouTube and you take a look at, go to YouTube and type in YouTube agent. There's a good friend of mine, Jackson Wilkie. He and his business partner Jesse up in Portland, and I've connected you, Glenn, with Jackson.
Yeah, he's doing some great stuff. Yeah,
amazing stuff. And he has 50 active buyers, pre-approved, ready to roll right now, 100% free from the YouTube videos that he's creating. So I mean, I can't say how much I want you guys to double, triple, quadruple, 100% double down on YouTube videos. I mean, Adam, going out there and doing your Thumbs Up Friday with a local business, or Glenn, highlighting a client of yours, or, you fill in the blanks, but just go highlight another person, not yourself. Don't be the storyline, be the narrator. That's the difference.
And Greg, I'm not going to go into it now because we've got Matt Steinway jumping on in just a few minutes. But how can people connect with you? One thing I would just definitely suggest is tapping into Greg's live streamed prospecting sessions on Facebook. That would be a must. So other than that, what could people do to get more McDaniel in their life? What would be the call? Because we all need more McDaniel in our life. Let me just say. So how can people find you and get more of you? Guys, take some notes on whatever Greg's got to say right now.
Oh my God. My girlfriend would say, no more McDaniel, no more. But I love that girl to pieces. She's amazing. But, you know, if you guys want to talk about kind of what I'm doing, go to bookmcdaniel.com and you can book some time, come in, hang out. Let's have some conversations. It'll show you when I'm available and everything else like that. And if you don't want to book a call, again, bookmcdaniel.com, very simple. Go just follow me on Facebook. Hit me up with a DM on Facebook with a question. I'll hit you back with a voice or a video message in return. I would love to bring any value that I can to you guys. You know, with the honor of being on this stage with Adam, with Glenn, Naomi, you know, with these incredible human beings, it is my duty to give back. So that's pretty much where you guys can get a hold of me and where we can communicate. And if I can bring any value to you, that's the best place to do it.
Wonderful. Good, sir. Well, guys, do subscribe on your favorite podcasts of choice for the Real Estate Uncensored podcast. It is constantly bringing value with real actionable stuff, Real Estate Uncensored. Not too much swearing, but certainly if you're completely against potty mouth, then maybe don't so much, but it is definitely uncensored, but so raw and real and valuable, unbelievable. And that website again, which I will put in the group there, or if Naomi, if you could put that in the group, in the Agents Helping Agents group, bookmcdaniel.com, because if Greg is offering you any of his time at bookmcdaniel.com, avail yourself of it, because the guy's a genius and a prospecting guru. You have a look. He goes live making these prospecting sessions. You can hear him live making his calls, literally with, you know, it's a sight to be seen. So Greg, thanks.
It's a lot of fun, and generally this is water right now. Generally, there's a beer in my hand when I do it. I call beers and calls. So go follow, watch, subscribe, comment, you know, whatever you want. It's a blast. I do it because it brings smiles to other people's faces, and I got to do my dang calls. So whatever. So Adam, you and I will connect. I would love to get you on my show, man.
Absolutely.
You sound like we were separated at birth, and so we definitely need to connect.
Yeah, no, happy to do that. And look, I'm the same, and GT knows this. I'm more than happy to help anyone. You know, a lot of people do call and message, and more than happy to help people. Always got time, because I had some good people help me, and I never forget those people. So ran into a lady the other day at the Good Guys, and Sharon, and she gave me my first leather. You know, when you go on the binder, like the portfolio, when you go on to an appraisal, and I said, thanks, Sharon. I always remember that brown leather. I was so appreciative of it. So I never forget little things like that, because I didn't have one at the time, and that was important to me. So anyone out there happy to seek me out, and Facebook's good. Anywhere's good. I'm happy to help.
What would be your final word, Adam? Because I've got to get Matt on in a few minutes. Yeah. But in this time, what would be your final word? Because I know we've been talking about marketing. We've been sort of talking, and which is good. We can't just talk about COVID this whole 12 hours. What has been any of the tweaks you guys have made, or any advice you'd give specific to the particular point in time we've found ourselves in?
Yep. Okay. Real easy. There's a lot of people. We, as a business, ourselves, we're very good at, and always have. And it's controversial, this, but my job is to sell work for the seller. We sell a lot off market, so it's a time for the best. It's a time for the best of the best, and this is when the best of the best will shine. And I'm not saying that to pump ourselves up. I'm just saying it's a time for the best of the best. So, again, be authentic. You ring people. If you say you're ringing them at a certain time, ring them, and follow through with that whole process. If we all do that as a group worldwide, we will win. You know, the good guys, and certainly the guys that have always done that will survive better. You know, the guys that this is not a time for the people that weren't very good and just sort of a bit lackadaisy. They will struggle, because they've got choice now. You know, you can go where you want to go. Keep doing your Facebook content. We still keep doing our 6 or so posts a day, and we do that because we enjoy it, and coming up with different stuff. So it's certainly a time to do little things. Of course, it's a bit different. We're working from home a little bit more at the moment, just to doing the right thing by our team. But to answer that question, to sum it up, keep it very simple. You know, it'll still work. I mean, I don't know any other way to explain it. It's like, yeah, we're going into a lot of depth and that sort of thing, but we always had 3D walkthroughs on our properties. We always were able to show properties. Funny enough, at the motorcycle industry where I came from, my biggest thing, I used to sell a lot of motorcycles sight unseen, and believe it or not, we actually sell quite a few properties sight unseen. It's amazing, and we find ourselves checking the mail for 3 months and getting lawnmower men to mow lawns and maintain these houses. Then we go, "G'day, here's your house you bought 3 months ago." So where this sort of thing happening is we just sort of business as normal. It's not what any of us wanted, but it makes you realise, a bit like being authentic, you know, Daniel, Greg, when you asked before, you know, it's amazing identifying something. It's good to identify good things that we do as well.
And look at the implementation, Greg. I saw the look on your face. Adam asked me once, maybe a couple of years ago, when we were, you know, I used to go, I was in his office every month, and it was, you know, crazy times. It was pretty intense. And we were just upping his social media game at that time some years ago. He said, ideally, how many posts should we be doing on Facebook? Because most agents don't do one a day, let alone they do one a week, maybe one every couple of days if they're lucky. And I said, well, look, ideally, half a dozen a day would be great, you know, because your social media platform is like a TV station. You should be on the air all day, every day. And how good's this guy as an implementer? Took that to heart and now is just literally devouring his social media space. So credit to you, my man.
I heard that 6 posts a day. I'm like, what? Are you kidding? What the heck are you doing?
The Gary Vaynerchuk of real estate, my man.
It's anyone that knows that posts stuff up, you've got to come up with coming up with different things all the time. But it's good. It's good fun.
That's awesome.
Beautiful. So now we've got Matt coming up in a moment. Have you guys, Greg, another person, just to note down his name, Matt Steinway. I know you met him when you spoke at the $1 Million Agent boot camp as the summit, as Adam has as well. Make sure you connect with him as well for let's get a real Aussie flavor on Real Estate Uncensored moving forward. We want some Aussie exposure.
Hey, I am down, man. Hey, the one thing that I love about the podcast and everything that we've built by this crazy brand behind me is that we love getting everybody in here. I don't care where you're from, what you look like, or anything else. As long as you got something valuable to bring and you got authenticity and you got some energy behind you, I am down. Adam, you're definitely coming on the show, by the way. So you're already hook, line, and sinker. You're already in, brother. So you're already done for. But yeah, I'd love to get Matt on. I think I talked to Matt, and the crazy conversation I had with him was like, I'm like, hey, nice to meet you, yada yada. He's like, I love your accent. I'm like, I love your accent. Wait, I have an accent? What the heck? But, yeah.
Adam, what are you doing just before? Because Matt's jumping on in a moment, but while he's still not here, we can talk about him. Matt's using stories a lot on both Instagram and Facebook. Have you played with any of the newer parts of social media that I don't see many real estate agents on there? But how's your take on stories, both Instagram, Facebook, IGTV, some of those things like that? What have you been playing with there?
Yeah, I haven't been doing the stories as much. But we do it. I'm probably a bit old school with what we do. I always joke about that. I say we're like the old school real estate agent where we still pick up the phone, but we've got all the technology there. Probably old school because that's me. For a young guy, I don't know, a bit old school, but it seems to work. We're doing. We're doing a little bit of that stuff. It's good on the stories at the top there too, aren't they, on Facebook that scroll along, and they do work. We're doing a bit of a mix. I know our business page, we don't really do a lot of it. I do a bit on my own page. It's good and gets a lot of views. They get a lot of it. Definitely works. You get a lot. I know I put some, anyone that's on my private page, and you're all welcome to. That's fine. Everyone knows my whole life. I ran into people at the shopping centre, and they're cool, mate. Saw it. Yep, all good.
They know everything about us. Yeah, for sure.
Funny story. If you ever jump on there, you'll see me tag my uncle Noel Podlick on there. He always, if he's watching, hey Uncle Noel, he always have a bit of a joke with him and say, hey mate, I've only put 42 photos up for the kids kayaking today, but there'll be another 40 coming, mate. I just didn't have time.
And
Adam, but those stories work for them.
Something real specific. Let me ask you, how much, and this is something that Greg and the guys over in the States found fascinating, how we get a seller marketing investment. Our sellers of properties so that because our commissions are a little bit lower, they contribute to the marketing up front in many cases. What sort of seller marketing are you apportioning to your listings? Because one thing you've done a great job with is video marketing, VPA on those graphical photographic listings and things. What sort of specifically seller marketing investment are you targeting at those listings in a dollar sense?
Yeah, I don't. To be truthful, I don't have a set amount per listing. When I first started, I did, but now obviously on a bigger scale, because I've got to look at it as a bigger scale as my own team, my office, and everything like that. So it's more a flow with the time. So at the moment, obviously, we've got to be very strategic because it's a bit of a funny time of how we do things. So I don't actually have a set amount. What I will look at it though is per project as what we're doing at the time. Whether it's print media, social media, sponsoring an event or something like that. So that's how we do it. Anyway, I know people do it all different ways.
So, beautiful. All right, buddy.